Welcome back to the Talk Lab podcast, everyone. Today we're diving into a topic that's both essential and often frustrating for English learners: the most common grammar mistakes. I'm here with Angelina, and together we'll explore why these mistakes happen, how to recognize them, and strategies to correct them naturally. Angelina, are you ready to unravel these language pitfalls?
Absolutely, Jack. Grammar can feel intimidating, but it doesn't have to. The mistakes learners make are usually predictable, and understanding them is the first step toward fluency. Today, we'll cover a wide range of errors, from verb tenses and subject-verb agreement to prepositions, articles, and word order. Most importantly, we'll discuss practical methods to avoid these pitfalls in real-life communication.
Let's start with one of the most frequent issues: verb tenses. Many learners confuse past, present, and future forms. For instance, people often say, "I go to the store yesterday," instead of "I went to the store yesterday." This happens because they translate directly from their native language, overlooking English tense rules.
Exactly. A simple trick is to anchor your verb in time. Ask yourself, is this happening now? Did it happen before? Or will it happen later? Then choose the correct tense accordingly. Another common mistake is the misuse of present perfect. "I have gone to Paris last year" should be "I went to Paris last year."
And learners often overuse the present continuous tense too. Sentences like "I am knowing the answer" instead of "I know the answer" pop up frequently. Continuous forms are reserved for ongoing actions, not states of being or knowledge.
Right. Moving on, another classic challenge is subject-verb agreement. For example, saying "she go to school every day" instead of "she goes to school every day." It may seem small, but these tiny errors affect clarity and fluency. The key is always to match the verb with the subject in both number and person.
Prepositions are another tricky area. Words like in, on, and at are often misused. Someone might say, "I'm good in English" instead of "I'm good at English." Prepositions are idiomatic, which means you often have to memorize the correct combinations.
Articles are equally challenging. Many learners omit a or the, saying, "I saw a movie yesterday" instead of "I saw a movie yesterday." Or they overuse the, like "I went to the school," when simply "I went to school" is correct in general contexts.
And don't forget word order mistakes. For instance, "I only eat vegetables on Mondays" is different from "I eat only vegetables on Mondays." Placement of adverbs can completely change meaning, which is why careful structuring is important.
Another common problem involves modal verbs. Learners might say, "You must have finished this" instead of "You must finish this." Modal verbs are always followed by the base form of the main verb without to.
Then there's the misuse of plural and countable nouns. People might say, "I have much friends" instead of "I have many friends," or "I have a lot of water," when contextually it's uncountable, which is correct. But "I have much waters" would be incorrect.
Yes, and let's not forget pronouns. Learners frequently confuse subject and object forms. "Me and him went to the park" instead of "he and I went to the park." Pronouns can be tricky, but paying attention to their role in the sentence helps tremendously.
And finally, double negatives are a persistent problem. People say, "I don't know nothing" instead of "I don't know anything." Double negatives create confusion and are considered incorrect in standard English.
Correct. Awareness of these patterns plus daily practice can dramatically reduce these mistakes. And here's the secret. Internalizing grammar through thinking, reading, and speaking English daily is far more effective than memorizing rules alone.
Absolutely. Practicing grammar in context, not just in isolation, allows learners to internalize structures naturally. That's why we always encourage immersive, conversational practice. Let's examine another frequent challenge: confusing past simple and past continuous. Learners often say, "I watched TV when she called me," which is fine. But sometimes they mix forms incorrectly. "I was watched TV when she called." Using continuous appropriately indicates ongoing actions, while simple past marks completed events.
Yes, the distinction can be subtle but meaningful. Continuous forms are excellent for describing actions in progress. I was cooking dinner when the phone rang. Meanwhile, simple past communicates finished actions. I cooked dinner yesterday. Observing context helps internalize these differences effortlessly.
Another area prone to mistakes is conditional sentences. Many students say, "If I will see him, I tell him the news," instead of, "If I see him, I will tell him news." In English, the if clause usually stays in the present tense, even when talking about the future.
Exactly. And conditional types can be tricky. Zero conditionals describe general truths. If you heat water, it boils. First conditionals show likely future events, second for hypothetical present situations, and third for past hypotheticals. Understanding each type reduces confusion considerably.
Let's move to comparatives and superlatives. Learners often mix irregular forms, saying gooder instead of better, or most funnest instead of the most fun. English has many irregular adjectives, so exposure and repetition are key to mastering them.
Yes. And let's not overlook countable versus uncountable nouns. Mistakes like much people instead of many people are common. Remember, many for plural countables, much for uncountable nouns. It may seem subtle, but it significantly improves grammatical accuracy.
Prepositions continue to challenge learners. For instance, "She is married with a doctor," instead of "She is married to a doctor." These small words matter, as they signal relationships, directions, and timing. Misusing prepositions can change meaning entirely.
Articles are another frequent trap. Learners might say, "I read a book about the history of Rome" correctly, but omit the "in." "I visited Colosseum," when it should be "the Colosseum." Articles give specificity or generality, and mastering them takes careful observation and practice.
And let's discuss pronoun consistency. Sometimes learners mix perspectives. "Everyone should do their homework" is correct, but some might say, "Everyone should do his homework," which is grammatically acceptable but less inclusive in modern English. Flexibility with pronouns while maintaining clarity is essential.
Absolutely. Another persistent mistake involves auxiliary verbs. People often omit do in questions. "You like coffee" instead of "do you like coffee?" or "she not go" instead of "does she not go?" Proper auxiliary use is fundamental to forming questions and negatives.
And don't forget word order in questions. For example, "Where you are going" should be "Where are you going?" Question formation often trips learners up because English relies on inversion of subject and auxiliary. practicing questions internally helps internalize this naturally.
Yes, sentence inversion is crucial. Similarly, negatives need attention. Learners say, "I didn't saw the movie," instead of "I didn't see the movie." After did, the main verb stays in base form. Understanding this rule reduces recurring mistakes significantly.
Another subtle but impactful area is adjective and adverb usage. For instance, "She sings beautiful" should be "she sings beautifully." Adjectives describe nouns. Adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, or entire clauses. Confusing them can distort meaning or make speech sound unnatural.
Exactly, Jack. And adding variety by using synonyms strengthens understanding. She sings wonderfully. She performs excellently. Her singing is impressive. This expands vocabulary while reinforcing correct grammar patterns.
Then we have run-on sentences. Learners often string multiple ideas without connectors. "I went to the store, I bought apples, I saw my friend." Breaking ideas into grammatically correct sentences improves clarity. "I went to the store, I bought apples, I saw my friend."
Yes, conjunctions help too. I went to the store and I bought apples before I saw my friend. Correct use of connectors like and, but, because, although prevents awkward or incorrect structures.
Finally, let's touch on parallel structure. A sentence like, "I like swimming to run and biking" should be, "I like swimming, running, and biking." Maintaining consistency in grammatical forms keeps speech coherent and polished.
All these points might feel overwhelming initially, but by focusing on patterns rather than isolated rules, learners gradually internalize correct structures. Reading, listening, speaking, and thinking in English are all part of the learning ecosystem.
Exactly. And small daily habits like silently narrating your day, forming sentences in your mind, correcting errors internally, compound over time. Mistakes become less frequent, fluency improves, and confidence soars.
That's right. The journey to grammatical accuracy isn't about perfection, but about awareness, consistency, and reflection. Observing patterns, using synonyms, and experimenting with sentence structures builds a strong foundation.
So, to all our listeners, don't fear errors. Embrace them as opportunities to refine your English. Keep practicing, keep observing, and soon, these common mistakes will no longer hinder your communication.
Absolutely, Jack. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Remember, mastering grammar is a continuous process, and thinking carefully in English every day makes a huge difference.
Yes, this concludes today's episode. We hope you found it insightful and practical. Keep noticing, practicing, and experimenting in English.
Goodbye, everyone. Stay curious, stay motivated, and let your English grow with every thought.
Take care and see you in the next episode of Talk Lab Podcast.